Down but never out. Hey everyone, Johnny here. Don't speak news. Well, I'm back. Last week was a major battle, though, both spiritually and physically. Well, what the devil fails to realize is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm an overcomer because Jesus was an overcomer and he told me to take heart that he has overcome the world already and the victory is mine, according to John 16:33. So I shall continue for as long as God wills it. So, what should we talk about today? Well, I want to talk about this that I put up a couple days ago. Banks across the U.S. will collapse soon. I found this on Twitter. I found it on X, I guess we could say, from an account called No Limit, since many of you don't use X, I'm reposting it here with the actual tweet below. It says here, they're hiding this, but you deserve the truth. He's been analyzing the Q4 earnings for 14 hours, and it's worse than I thought. If you have any amount of money in a bank account, you need to hear this. Here's what I uncovered. There's this AB note fraud. He found multiple instances of lenders quietly restructuring office loans into A-B splits. The A note is the amount the building's actually worth, and that's paid first. Then the B note is a hope note, a phantom asset they keep on the books at face value, pretending it'll be paid back someday. Yeah, that's just like we're pretending that these trillions of dollars that the U.S. deficit, has right now is going to be paid back someday. They're just pretending. There's no way. And in fact, they've been papering over the hyperinflation since 2020. And in fact, there's another article down here that I linked up to. At least I think I put it. Yes, I did. From What's the Deal over at Substack. In fact, I said if you'd like to learn more about what happened in 2019 and 2020 in regards to the U.S. economy, then check out What's the Deal over on Substack. This is the link. It's always in the red letters, guys. If I put links up, just click on the red letters and you'll get there. So I wish I had discovered him earlier, but like the rest of us telling the truth, he got shadow banned into a dusty corner of the internet. But don't pay much attention to the mainstream. They'll never tell you what's coming. They're paid actors, and their job is to keep you in the markets until they crash. That's how the wealth gets transferred back up to the top. So pray about these reports and then prepare accordingly. I'm not here to give you financial advice, just to warn you about what's coming. And of course, James 5, 1 through 3 says it really well about what's going to happen to the super rich in the end times. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You've heaped treasure together for the last days. And that's what they've been doing, and it's not going to work. Now let's take a look at what's the deal over at Substack. And if the video starts here, I'll pause it real quick because I just wanted to read a couple things. So here we go. Canada cuts ties with U.S. over pre-scripted world government tariff war is originally reported by What's the Deal here on Substack. Tariff war, part of the world government new world order transition phase, previously scripted at Davos and World Economic Forum behind closed doors. And he's been one of the only ones reporting that the American world order came to an official end in 2019, which has been vindicated to this day with mainstream household names now using What's the Deal's original work that is well documented on this Substack. Hyperinflation, as began in 2020, as What's the Deal is the first and only analyst to report, state, and warn and show with undeniable evidence since the year 2020 on previously banned, censored social media platforms that the US dollar began the beginning stages of hyperinflation in the year 2020 itself. The beginning stages of hyperinflation in the US dollar can be seen and most noted in nominal precious metal prices since the year 2020 to present day, as first reported by What's the Deal back in 2020. And so I'll let you read the rest on your own, but as you can see, silver's hyperinflated over 387% since 2020. And yes, it pulled back some last weekend, but that's on paper. You can't buy physical silver for what they're selling the paper for on the markets today. And gold, well, that's hyperinflated over 93% since 2020. So that's just two examples. And of course, we can all see it at the grocery stores and everywhere else that we go to buy stuff, right? It's all gone way up, some up to 300% in some cases. So, yeah, this has been going on for a while now, for the last 6 years. And then we have this in regards to the economy as well. Isn't it convenient that the government shuts down just when the Friday job report was supposed to come out last week, right? January 31st, or what was it, January 30th, whatever it was. The jobs report was supposed to come out, but now it's going to be delayed because of this partial government shutdown. And of course, they're blaming the ICE thing. They don't want to fund ICE as the reason for shutting it down. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics will not be releasing the January jobs report as scheduled Friday due to the government shutdown. A department spokesman confirmed Monday. The employment situation release for January 2026 will not be released as scheduled on Friday, February 6, 2026, this Friday, I guess. The release will be rescheduled upon the resumption of government funding. So there you go. And of course, following last year's record shutdown that stretched into early November, the Bureau was also forced to delay a number of its routine releases and was just catching up from that incident. Isn't that something? So they didn't want to tell you about how bad everything was back in October. And now they don't want to tell you how bad it was to start the year here in January. So this government shutdown just so happened to coincide with that. Isn't that something? Just like it did the last time. So unreal. Going from the economy now over to some wars, rumors of wars news. Here's a big rumor that I cannot confirm anywhere else as of now. But Hal Turner saying that reports he's seeing that President Xi in China supposedly has had a stroke. In quotation marks here, because, maybe he was killed or, attempted, who knows? But military units appear to be in revolt. So like I said, I cannot verify this. I've searched and searched this morning and even on Telegram. I can't verify this, so take it with a big grain of salt. Because they've said this about Z before. As I was researching this, I found stuff from 2024 and 2012 saying that he had had a stroke. And that the military was in revolt. So I don't know if this is something they do every couple of years or what, but here it is nonetheless. So they're saying that China's President Xi Jinping has reportedly suffered a cerebral infarction, which would be a blockage of an artery in the brain, commonly known as a stroke. At the same time, or maybe the cover was taking place, there appears to be two separate internal revolts happening inside China. An emergency announcement in China said emergency broadcast the party and the nation's most outstanding leader, the most distinguished proletarian statesman, Comrade Xi Jinping, due to excessive brain usage, they're saying, day and night, has suffered a cerebral infarction and is currently being resuscitated at the China-Japan Friendship Hospital. The Chinese central government has suspended railway transportation to Beijing from 23 regions across the country, most of which are areas with military garrisons. If reports about Z are true, it's an extremely unusual signal. It reflects not merely traffic management, but a high degree of vigilance over the flow of power. Xi Jinping's government is apparently concerned that various military forces might enter Beijing through unconventional means. This indicates the political situation in Beijing remains opaque and under intense pressure, with the core power of lacking absolute control over the situation. The more roads are blocked, the more it shows the situation is not yet stable. The more silence there is, the greater the possibility of possible undercurrents surging beneath the surface. In other words, this may actually be a coup. And so I'll let you read the rest on your own. It's not in his, under his paywall or anything. But they're saying that all these provinces are going to get together and form an autonomous region that will then form a unified entity and declare independence from the central regime. With such broad planning by multiple different military units in different areas of the country, it appears on the surface, internal revolts are taking place in the China army. This could tear China apart and send it cascading into an internal civil war. Yeah, and who knows how they're going to react to the whole Taiwan situation and the situation with the U.S. And, I guess Z would be the devil that we know, and whoever would replace him might be the devil we don't know, or at least not know as much about. And that can be even more dangerous. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But there's been a lot of scuttlebutt in the last couple of weeks in regards to revolts in China and military units in China, that they're not happy with the current regime. And I'm not privy to how all the dynamics play out between the military and the political branches in China. So we'll have to see. I guess it's a wait and see moment in this situation because I don't even know if all of this is true. So we'll just keep our eyes on it like we always do. And now, also, in regards to Iran and the Middle East, the U.S. has deployed combat sent aircraft to the Middle East, and it redeploys the USS Nimitz, which, like Hal Turner, I thought was retired. Apparently not. But it says here, as of October of 2025, they were planning on retiring it. Nuclear aircraft carrier USS Nimitz will be retired next year. It might be a big mistake, it says here. And it would, because the USS Ford, one of the newest, I think it's the newest aircraft carrier, the elevators don't even work. So, I mean, they've been working on those things for a long time now. And the munitions delivery systems, loading systems don't work, I guess. I mean, I don't know. A lot of problems with the new aircraft carriers. So maybe they decided against retiring the USS Nimitz because, like it says here, it might be a big mistake. So the United States is deploying one of only two combat sent aircraft in the world to the Middle East. An American RC-135U combat aircraft was departed Okinawa and is assessed to be heading toward Al Udeid Air Base. Only two of these aircraft exist worldwide, and the platform is designed to detect, analyze, and characterize adversary radar systems by collecting electronic signals and signatures. Such deployments are only associated with heightened regional tensions and advanced intelligence gathering just prior to military operations. And then the Nimitz, as I just showed you, has been deployed to the Middle East, signaling an expanded U.S. military posture amid rising regional tensions. The Nimitz was supposed to be retired, but as we can see, not yet. It's being sent into combat to start the year, or at least into a combat zone. Wow, guys, there's so much going on. And of course, Iran, for their part, they've essentially been saying that if you attack us this time, there's not going to be a ceasefire. And Netanyahu in Israel, Netanyahu told the Knesset, which is their version of Congress, that Israel is on high alert and ready for any possible scenario. And according to Khamenei in Iran, the recent sedition was orchestrated by the Zionists and the U.S. Remember all the uprisings they had going on here this past month. I was informed through a certain channel that the CIA and Mossad deployed all of their resources into the field. Nevertheless, they were defeated. The sedition's plan was developed abroad, and it was managed from abroad. Of course it was.
Trump.
I mean, we don't have to be rocket scientists to get that scenario. It was the CIA and Mossad and probably MI6 involved in those uprisings inside of Iran, which started out peacefully, but then were agitated into something much worse. So they're still at war with Israel and the US. It's just a matter of when all the big stuff starts flying again, which it looks like it's going to. But there were explosions in Iran over the weekend, different offices and different cities blowing up just out of nowhere. So I don't know if that was sabotage, if it was some type of directed energy weapon from the US, maybe from space. Hard to say. But I guarantee you we're probably going to see some what we would consider science fiction type weaponry being used in this next big war, which I believe is coming soon. So that will be it for now. Like I said, please keep me in your prayers today as I've got more appointments coming up today for health issues. So please keep me in your prayers and please keep us as an organization, a ministry in your prayers so that we can continue doing what we're doing. And don'tspeaknews.com is where we do it all, in case you weren't aware. This is home base for everything that we do. I've got over 3,000 stories here now, videos and so forth that you can peruse and research with. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, there's a subscription box at the bottom of every article. You'll get one pop-up while you're here. Or you can click on this tab here, subscribe, contact Johnny. Don't Speak News or Proton Mail is how you get in touch. And just type in your email here and click on subscribe to get notified every time I put up a new post. If you'd like to support us, channel support tab is right here. There's also links at the bottom of every article. But we need your support. Otherwise, we don't stick around. We don't have advertising. We're listener supported only. And I thank you very, very much for those who contributed here at the end of last month. It was critical. and very, very needed. And so the bills got paid, and I thank you for that. We squeaked by once again. And for Rumble, BitChute, Telegram, click on this tab here. This is where you can find us, including YouTube and different places around the internet. And so that will be it for now. Prayed up and prepped up, guys, because you never know what's next. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.